Magnificent Seven companies reporting this week. We're talking Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet. Give us a sense. What are you expecting? And will this be the quarter that we start to see the impact of AI?
I mean, yeah, I think as far as this quarter is concerned, what we care most about first is on the demand side of things. You kind of need to make sure that we continue to see a stabilization on the cloud side of things, which we started seeing in the second half of this last year. Start bumping against some easier comps here into 2024, so that should help a little bit. And then also on the digital ad side of things, that's kind of the other kind of big trend on the end demand side of things. And that area has really kind of been recovering through 2023. Again, the fourth quarter in terms of the Q4 numbers should kind of bump along some easier comps, and as well as into the first half of this year. So we're pretty optimistic about both kind of some of the trends going on in the cloud and digital ad side of things. And of course, you know, as far as Gen AI is concerned, we do need to see kind of some incremental improvement for all these companies. Want to see some clarity in terms of whether or not they're starting to see some monetization. Microsoft will really be the key here because of kind of what they're seeing on the cloud side of things. They have seen, you know, greater progress in terms of Gen AI on the cloud, as well as kind of Copilot ramping for 365 in November. We want to see what the momentum there is. So if they can kind of kick off earnings season on a positive note, that'll be good for mega tech.
All right, so it sounds like when it comes to the AI story, it's still somewhat of a wait and see, but you see when it comes to AI specifically, Microsoft is a bellwether.
Yeah, I mean, we do. And then if you kind of look at where the, you know, the improvement has been on the Gen AI side of things, they saw about 3 percentage points of incremental growth on the cloud from Gen AI in the September quarter. That's an improvement from the 1 percentage point in the June quarter. We're looking for at least 4 to 5 percentage points of incremental growth here from Gen AI. So it's going to be important on the cloud side of things to start, you know, continuing to see that progression from Gen AI.
All right. You mentioned another part that's pretty critical for a lot of these players when it comes to ad spending. So a few months ago, at the beginning of the Israel-Hamas war, we heard that a lot of companies were feeling pressured when it came to ad spending. What's the environment right now?
I mean, we think overall, you know, the recovery has been pretty well. I mean, there hasn't really been much of an impact in the December quarter, we think, from some of the geopolitical pressures out there. So in terms of a name like Meta, we continue to see north of 20% top line growth on the ad side of things. When you look at Alphabet's search business, again, we're looking for double-digit growth here year over year for the December quarter. So, you know, momentum still continues to be very favorable on the ad side of things. And as we kind of go into 2024, of course, we've got an election in the second half of the year. So, you know, all signs are, you know, pretty good trends going on there.
All right. One big story when it comes to these Magnificent Seven names, of course, is valuation. Do you expect this quarter to see earnings that justify these very lofty valuations?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest question out there. I mean, we've definitely seen some massive kind of improvements from, you know, the Mag 7 names here off the October lows. I mean, really driven by NVIDIA north up, you know, about 50% or so. You know, kind of look at, you know, some of whether it be Alphabet or Meta also doing, you know, very well off those October lows. I think that's where the valuation is most attractive right now, where you could potentially see greater upside than the other areas where, you know, you look at the Microsoft and Apple of the world, which look a little bit fuller in valuation.